Date with Destiny 9 days from now for the Triple Crown champion American Pharaoh. He is the star attraction in the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic, one of 10 pre-entered in the 32nd Breeders' Cup. How do you like that? Yesterday, first time ever at Keeneland. We're at Belmont, though, quite far from Keeneland. This man will be at Keeneland in about a week, but he's got us with him tonight on Belmont Insider. It's the Mig, Richard Migliore, Jason Blewitt alongside. Second to last Thursday, and don't look at the calendar because today we were in the low 70s and it felt like a summertime day.
Now, this is truly Indian summer, and what a great racing card. Such competitive races, although the chalk was delivering.
The chalk delivered, to say the least. If you like chalk, and who doesn't, considering the chalk-eating weasel that's speaking right now, sit tight for today's action at Belmont Park. No surprise, though, Mig, regarding headlines, it's all about the Breeders' Cup, and we do have a few good nuggets to get to, beginning with, how do you like the run off the far turn? Long stretch in the Arc de Triomphe with Golden Horn, who hasn't missed a beat, it sounds, since winning the Arc over Trev.
Yeah, he had a little spin over Pete Moss at Newmarket. Now, I don't know how that correlates to what the turf course will be at Keeneland, but we know he performs well on turf. And what makes him a little bit different from other horses that have had success in the Arc coming to the Breeders' Cup is that he's a very tactical horse. He's a horse that possesses speed. He puts himself in the race, and in my estimation, he'll adapt very well to American-style racing. I don't think he's going to be out of the race early. He's going to get position going forward, and we know Frankie Dettori knows how to win on U.S. soil.
And I like the fact they have moved the Breeders' Cup turf, in my opinion, back where it belongs. It is the race preceding the Breeders' Cup Classic, and you would think, just looking at who's pre-entered, Golden Horn will be an overwhelming favorite and almost a universal single for every gimme pick, multi-race pick in the Breeders' Cup.
And I think rightfully so. I mean, the runner-up in the Arc talked about coming here, Flintshire, and he was so good at Saratoga, and he was very suited to American racing, too, a very tactical kind of horse. But Flintshire, I guess, did not get his West Nile inoculation and can't come back to the States because either it was an oversight or they chose not to. So he's going to point for the Japan Cup, and that just made Golden Horn's life that much easier.
Now, Liam's Matt may have things easy regarding his front-running tactics in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. All in a day's work for Javier Castellano. He spent the morning training and breezed Liam's Map 5/8 at Keeneland and was back here riding at Belmont Park all afternoon.
Man, that's when you know these guys earn their money. They're flying around to work horses, now obviously good horses, and it makes it well worth it. I didn't know that until after I spoke with Javier Castellano, and we'll see that later. I would have asked him about it. But Liam's Map, I actually wonder, and I'm not questioning Todd Pletcher here. He knows his horse, and he believes a mile is better than a mile and a quarter. Just wonder if he's not going to have a tougher road to hoe going the mile, because there's some other speed signed on in here, and post position draw is going to be so important because of the configuration of the mile at Keeneland. Short run of the first turn into the short stretch. They basically finish at the 16th pole. Post positions can play a big role in this outcome.
And post equally is important in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. That is a race that typically, and it seems annually, attracts an overflow field. You miss the break, well, you're probably not going to win, and Run Happy has had some issues getting out of the starting gate cleanly in his last few races. Here he is, couple starts back in the Grade 1 King's Bishop at Saratoga for Maria Burrell. This horse, Mig, has been blazing in the morning. Breeze Tuesday, 109-4. What do you think of his overall training heading into the BC Sprint?
Well, he's a fast horse, and fast horses work fast. But as far as I'm concerned, I have to question the wisdom of letting this horse roll every single time he works. 109 and change, that's a race. That's not a work. If I'm a trainer, I don't want my horses to work that fast. The only time I want them to go that fast is when they're getting paid for it. And I'll go one step further. I question why they're constantly working the horse out of the gate. And people may say, well, he doesn't break that well, so they're trying to get him used to it. No, it's the opposite effect. You get a horse too keyed up. They're too tight in there. They're too tense. They're acting up. Every time you bring that horse to the gate, you're just reinforcing that kind of bad connotation he has with the starting gate and compounding what could become a serious problem. I really think they need to slow him down and let him produce that kind of form in the afternoon. Now, he's winning, but maybe it's a case of a loaded gun will go off in anybody's hands.
Fair enough. Well said, Mig. You got the feeling, as do I, that if he breaks the way he did in the Phoenix, he'll be in deep trouble come Breeders' Cup Day.
He's not going to be able to do that with horse like Private Zone in there, who leaves the gate like a scalded dog. He jumps out of the gate as quick as anything you've ever seen, and a very aggressive rider, Martin Pedrosa, and he's going to be very aware of where Run Happy is, and if he gets off a step slow, you can count on Martin Pedrosa exploiting that.
Let's see how the break was on the second and final Thursday of the fall meet. Fillies and Mares, co-featured fifth, had a couple of $85,000 rich allowance optional claimers. Here's the first, Blue Skies at Belmont, plenty of sun, and we go up to Larry Colmus for the call.
Scatcapade comes out running. There goes Runway Ready now up to grab the lead, though, and Runway Ready to the front. Opening up by 2 from Spectacular Me, Scatcapade, and Persnickety on the outside of them. Then back to Hill House High, who's down toward the inside. And then it's Vicky's Dancer and Dauphine Rousse, last of them all. Runway Ready in front. Heads into the far turn with the lead and goes by the opening quarter mile in 22 1/5 seconds. Leads it by a length to Scatcapade in second. On the rail, it's Spectacular Me running along in third. Persnickety is fourth on the outside. And then Vicky's Dancer and Hill House High and Dauphine Rousse just 5 lengths off the lead at the rear of the field. As Longshot Runway Ready leads the way round the far turn. Scatcapade moving up alongside in second. 1-2 at the top of the stretch. Spectacular Me cuts the corner in third. And Vicky's Dancer swings to the outside and comes on with Dauphine Rousse. These two charging now. Here's Dauphine Rousse in the middle of the course. Javier Castellano and Dauphine Rousse have taken the lead on the outside. And Dauphine Rousse is going to go on and win here from Spectacular Me. And then came Vicky's Dancer and Hill House High.
Nice last to first run for Dauphine Rousse, and you see just how nimble and athletic she was turning for home. Javier was able to just stay right on top of those other horses.
Yeah, didn't spread the turn. He was coming around horses, but he stayed as tight as he could to them, and I think that's a good point, Jason, that she was that nimble, that athletic, and at the same time, while she was getting that unencumbered run, Spectacular Me was having to fight her way through traffic, through a tough spot, and it looked like when she finally got her head through, she went on again. I wonder if you switch positions if you don't have a different outcome.
Let's find out what the two-time Eclipse Award winner had to say after getting off the French bread.
Javier, you worked at a really clean trip with your filly, Dauphine Rousse. While the other horse, Spectacular Me, was kind of bottled up inside, you really got a good trip.
I have a very lucky trip. You know, I saved all the ground the first time and just to swing around, got to the jump with the other horses. I have a perfect trip. I mean, that's what I want to be. It worked out great today.
You're riding with so much confidence. You've been riding good all year. How important is that heading towards the Breeders' Cup?
Absolutely. You build your own confidence. Every time you ride horses and you win, I think you level. You just kind of pick it up, and especially this week, you're going through the best emotional race on the year. You know, you got to be focused. You got to do your homework, and hopefully all the best.
You ride a lot of horses every day. How many do you think right now you're going to be riding on the 2 Breeders' Cup days?
I don't know. I'll go with the flow. I see how the pre-end is, the race for the Breeders' Cup. I just want to see the overnight come out and go from there.
All right, best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Sure in demand, Matt Musicar, an agent's agent, and has Javier at a number of the top barns, to say the least. And you have got Javier thumbs up in the winner's circle and set for a big Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, you know he's going to have a big day. He seems to deliver on those days. And I know a lot of people feel like Victor Espinoza has, you know, the Jockey of the Year title wrapped up as far as the Eclipse Awards go. I wonder, I think Javier's making a race of it because he's just had another incredible breakthrough year. You talk about Matt Musiker, the agent that he's become. You do know that there was a time he was one of the security guards that walked the jockeys back and forth in Saratoga. It's come a long way.
Indeed, the evolution of an agent, and Javier, same could be said for him, the decade or so he's been in the United States riding. Moving on to the action, a race later, race number 6, in fact, late pick 4. How about some inner turf maidens, 3 and up, purse of $75,000.
Who comes out running on the lead. Red Guard on the inside, seeking Alpha. Right alongside and going up outside of them is Tale of Fancy, who's into third. Red Guard shuffled back, running in 4th position early on. Contradict, Black Eagle next on the outside, and then it's Uptown Joe and Liam's Prince trails the field. So they race on to the backstretch with Infinite Wisdom in front. The leader by a half length over Seeking Alpha, who's second through a 24 flat opening quarter mile. Then it's Tale of Fancy on the outside. Red Guard down toward the rail. Contradict is right there running in 5th. Racing in between rivals and 3 lengths off the lead up the backstretch. Then Uptown Joe, Black Eagle to the outside. And Liam's Prince is 7 lengths off of front-running Infinite Wisdom, who continues to lead the way through a half mile that goes in 48 and 2/5 seconds. Infinite Wisdom, front-running favorite, 3/4 of a length ahead of Seeking Alpha, second on the outside. Red Guard is down toward the rail, running in 3rd, Tale of Fancy 4th. And then it's Contradict, Black Eagle to the outside. Along the rail is Uptown Joe, and Liam's Prince is the trailer as Infinite Wisdom leads the way on the far turn, now being ridden to go. Seeking Alpha trying to stick with Infinite Wisdom as Tale of Fancy swings up on the far outside. Red Guard rides the rail and runs in 4th, and they're into the stretch. Infinite Wisdom trying to keep this lead from Seeking Alpha and Red Guard. On the outside comes Tale of Fancy. Liam's Prince is next. It is still Infinite Wisdom. Infinite Wisdom all the way so far, still a 2-length lead, and Infinite Wisdom and Joel Rosario never look back. They're going to win going away in the end here over Seeking Alpha. Red Guard was 3rd and Tale of Fancy was 4th.
Favorites 2 for 2 on tonight's Insider, and there was no sweating it out here with Infinite Wisdom for Ammerman Racing, Joel Rosario, and trainer Brian Lynch.
And, you know, I just really enjoy watching Joel Rosario finish. He's such a strong finisher. He looks so in sync with his horses. And when this horse got to set very controlled fractions the first 3 quarters, then the race was on. The 4th quarter went in 22 and change. How do you run a horse down that's already in front and then going that fast?
Gelding by Smart Strike, an overwhelming favorite from the opening flash. He's a 4-year-old Brian Lynch, Joel Rosario. We'll see them come back to battle a bit later in the show. We'll find out if favorites can stay perfect on this second to last Thursday at Belmont Park. Coming back your way here on MSG Plus.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the 2nd floor at Aqueduct.
Javier Castellano, 2 Eclipse Awards, and the man does not like cameras. Get that out of my face. Game face is on. Dauphine Rousse, in fact, that was the paddock run before taking today's co-featured 5th race, and we'll have Javier along with Johnny V. And that gray mare, she's been so good for so long. Discreet Mark here on Saturday, Empire Showcase Day. An early start to the card, 12:25. We do have room for you in the Garden Terrace, $35 a person. Talking horses on the air at 11:15 with myself and Andy Serling, and we have the New York Racing Series unveiling at 5 p.m. right here on MSG Plus.
It should be fun. It's always a great day, New York Showcase Day. You've got autumn in New York, and it's an homage to the New York breds and the New York breeders who support this game 365 days a year here in this state.
Favorites 2 for 2 so far on the show. Let's see what happened in race number 7. We'll start the final pick 3 on a warm and actually 12 degrees cooler, or I should say warmer than normal. We were above average by about 10 to 12 degrees. It was nice out there. The turf was firm, and we'll pick up race number 7, a 2 lifetime claimer on the backside.
All My Trails is after that, and then comes Blue Shark as they hook up with the backstretch. Then Hush Hush Mush Mush, Smoky Brown to the outside, and in behind them are Cody's Notes, Sean and Matt, and the trailer, My Friend Keith. So they move up the backstretch with Jim 2 on the outside of Mr. Canada. A 23-3 opening quarter mile, and Jim 2's going to kick on with it and lead by almost 2 lengths. Mr. Canada second by another 2. Mohican Chief follows in 3rd. Charity Reigns is 4th and moving up the backstretch, and now drawing up alongside of Mohican Chief. And then it's Iris Jade, All My Trails, and Hush Hush Mush Mush. And they're followed by Blue Shark, Sean and Matt toward the inside. Farther out comes Smoky Brown, then Cody's Notes, and My Friend Keith last of them all. The half mile in 47 3/5 seconds. Jim 2 the lead, 3/4 of a length. Mr. Canada second. Mohican Chief on the outside, 3rd by 2. Then it's Charity Reigns in fourth, Irish Jade fifth on the inside. Then All My Trails, Hush Hush Mush Mush, followed by Smoky Brown. Blue Sharks about 8 lengths off the lead. Cody's Notes and My Friend Keith are next, and now last is Charity Reigns, and they're coming toward the top of the stretch. 3/4 went in 1, 11 and 2, and they're into the stretch, and on the outside there goes Mohican Chief. Mohican Chief has rallied up and now has grabbed the lead. And then it's Jim Two Beck running in second, followed by Mr. Canada. On the far outside, trying to make a move is Smoky Brown. Has to come and get Mohican Chief, though. And Mohican Chief is drifting in, but clear. And Mohican Chief will beat Smoky Brown. And that was Mr. Canada, followed by Blue Shark.
3 wide, ready to pounce. The Gray Gelding, a New York bred by Broken Vow, Mohican Chief. And this goes back to A, having top connections in your corner, but I think B, and most importantly, Chad Brown just putting this horse where he would be most effective first time against winners.
And that's what your best trainers do. Not only are they good horsemen, but they put their horses in positions to succeed. This horse broke his maiden for 40, so he's back in for 25. And he always had position, and it seemed very important right now, the way the turf is. It seems somewhat dry. You can see some dust coming up, but on the turn, that you want to be forwardly placed. It didn't appear like horses were having an easier time of it rallying from way back.
Now let's see how Javier and Chad did in race number 8. This was the co-featured 8th race, a purse of $85,000. Chad actually sent out a pair of horses, Love and Marriage in the 4 Hope Cross, and Javier's looking for his 4th win on the day aboard Hope Cross as we go back to Larry Colmus.
The Nicole's got early speed to the outside, Striking Style. These 3 have the most early foot. And then it's Tap It Out away running in 4th to the outside of My Sweet Girl. And then it's Hope Cross and Love and Marriage on the outside. Run of the River is next, and the trailer is Sparkle Factor. So the field racing on to the backstretch in pursuit of Runway Giant and Manny Franco, who ran a first quarter mile in 23 and 3/5 seconds, and they lead by a length and a half. Striking Style is second on the outside. My Sweet Girl is on the rail, 2.5 lengths off the lead and running in 3rd. Then Love and Marriage on the outside of Samantha Nicole. On the inside is Hope Cross. Run of the River goes up outside of Hope Cross with 5 lengths to make up. And then it's Tap It Out and Sparkle Factor. 48 and 3 was the half mile for Runway Giant, who leads by a length and a half over Striking Style as they race for the far turn. My Sweet Girl is down on the inside. Love and Marriage follows 4th by a length and a half. Samantha Nicole and Run of the River next, and Hope Cross to their inside is just 4 lengths off the lead and now moving 1 off the rail. Sparkle Factor and Tap It Out at the back of the field. This one is wide open. Sparkle Factor is gaining in, needs a place to go down on the inside, and they're at the top of the stretch, and it is Runway Giant. Runway Giant turns for home in front. Striking Style to the outside comes on in second. And then it's Love and Marriage. Sparkle Factor is coming now, and Hope Cross splits horses too. Final 16th, Striking Style in front. Hope Cross between, and Sparkle Factor on the outside. The 3 of them are going to sprint it out down to the wire, and it is Hope Cross. Javier again. Tied second, Sparkle Factor or Striking Style.
Just a matter of time before Hope Cross found a seam. She bowled her way through and was able to outfinish Striking Style and Sparkle Factor in a thrilling finish.
And that was a great ISO shot there of Javier being able to just thread the needle, get through between horses without bothering anybody, and have that beautiful late kick. It looked like the eventual, I guess she was the runner-up. It was very tight there. The 9 horse, actually she finished 3rd, right? Sparkle Factor looked like she was going to get all the money, but then that filly found that seam and kind of burst through, and it shows you the difference when you can sit in there saving ground, saving horse. They'll have that acceleration. When you have to kind of make that long looping run, they'll tend to flatten just a little bit.
Wayne just a bit there in her U.S. debut in deep stretch, dropping off 140 pounds, $135. She carried 120 with Irad and nearly got the money for Christophe Command. But 2 in a row for Chad. Javier won 4 today, and here's everything else that happened on day number 30 as we send it back up to Larry Colmus.
Man Can, a wide run for Crown the Kitten, who's closing down the center of the course, and then Mark My Style, Talbot County, and Mexican Groove. And here's Crown the Kitten on the outside. Joining Dominic Style, and between those 2 is Mark My Style as they come down to the line. It's Crown the Kitten and Mark My Style. Crown the Kitten did it over Mark My Style. Then Dominic Smile, back of the pack. Jazz Player passed now by Mischievous One, and on the outside it's Je ne sais pas, and they're into the stretch. And it is Je ne sais pas who has taken the lead. Je ne sais pas in front from Bold Runner, and here comes Irish Cat on the scene now. And on the far outside, Tracking Stock is closing in. Irish Cat's taking the lead. Tracking Stock on the outside, Je ne sais pas and Bold Runner, it is Irish Cat. Irish Cat by 3 lengths on the wire to Tracking Stock. And then it was Je ne sais pas toward the top of the stretch. Spartan Emperor cuts the corner and battles on in second. And then it's Got Winged third behind them. Toward the inside, Stay Tuned, plenty of work to do. Then 100%, and on the far outside, Deputy Buster Stone. It is Candid Desire looking for the upset. Candid Desire by the 16th pole, but here comes the favorite, Stay Tuned. Candid Desire, Stay Tuned. These two down to the line. Very close. Candid Desire or Stay Tuned. Then Deputy Tijuana and Over My Head right behind them. And the trailer Lovely L getting a bit closer at the back of the pack as they turn for home. A 46 1/2 mile. And it is Sonora in front. Sonora set sail for home with a 2-length lead. Enduring Touch has moved up into second on the inside. Done Listening follows in third, and Tech Yellow is fourth. But Sonora is gone. Sonora and Javier Castellano pulling away to win it easily by about 7 lengths in the end here over Enduring Touch, and then it was Done Listening and Tacky Yellow. 2 lengths more back to Eye Candy down on the inside as they come toward the top of the stretch, and Madame Mabry has taken the lead. Queen's Tiara tries to go with her on the outside. The Bunny Phone is next, and then comes Head Shrinker. 46 4 for a 1/2 mile. They're into the stretch. And the favorite, Madame Mabry and Arad Ortiz Jr. have the lead, but here come John Velasquez and Queen's Tiara. And they've gone by. Queen's Tiara takes over from Madame Mabry. Head Shrinker closing through on the inside. Now takes second late, and on the far outside, it's Wire Dancer. Down to the line, it's going to be Queen's Tiara to win it. Over Head Shrinker, Wire Dancer, and Madame Mabry ended up fourth.
Little Fletcher Johnny action in the last race. Getting it done is basically the coast's second choice, second time starting filly by hat trick. And speaking of that sire, we hope the Rangers come out firing tonight at the Garden against Arizona.
Well, big win Monday night. Let's build on it, boys.
All right. Best of luck to the New York Mets. We await to see who they play in the World Series. We don't have to wait that long, however, for Cappy in the second look on this Thursday night on MSG+. CeCe Lopez for the second look with Candid Desire. Tried to blow the race open, and in the end, it took a long, sustained run from Stay Tuned, who went and got him.
Yeah, Stay Tuned looked uncomfortable, stuck in behind horses, searching for room. Chucky got the drop, opened up a substantial lead in the stretch, and then here came Stay Tuned off that precipitous drop from 50,000 to 25,000. Nailed him on the wire, much to my chagrin.
Sorry about that. Tough game. You'll get them tomorrow. We've got 9 more for you here, beginning at 12:55. Javier, a huge day. It began at Keeneland with Liam's map and that 5-furlong breeze, and he scored 4 wins today. Moving on to the trainers, I think we had, we had 8 different trainers winning today. I was going to say 9, but Linda Rice won 2, and in fact, Chad Brown walked away with a training double. And both Linda and Chad swept their own rolling doubles. Linda in races 2 and 3, Chad in races 7 and 8, and quite a few claims. You mentioned the drop mig with Stay Tuned from 50 into a quarter, 2-way shake. Chris Engelhardt picked him up. Sonora, who jogged a 6-way shake. The Dude claimed her for 16,000. And we have the owner standings coming down on the final few cards of this fall meet. Sheikh Mohammed leads all owners with 8 victories with the Royal Blue of Godolphin, and a Friday feature, a preview, and a little Maggie action when we come back on this Thursday edition of Belmont Insider. Rudy Rodriguez talking some strategy in the paddock. We'll have a couple of 2-year-old maiden claimers. Little wave, a thumbs up. That guy's the man. Rudy will have 2 horses entered in tomorrow's first race. Chubby Master and Voluntario, both horses with outside post. 12:55 starts the Friday card. And then a week later, 8 days in fact, there'll be Breeders' Cup Saturday. On Halloween, we'll have the Fall Festival. Plenty of activities for the kids and the family here at beautiful Belmont Park, and Breeders' Cup dining packages available. Can't beat that communal experience, and you can't beat the opener on Travers Day. A tight photo as we look at good response on board in Brooklyn.
And I think out of the two, even though it was a tight finish, Good Response took the worst of it. They went a half in 52, 3/4 in 118 and 3. He was behind. He got in the clear. He fought his way to the clear and came with a rush to just miss with a clean trip. And Belmont should lend itself to a better trip. I like Good Response out of that race.
Here comes Fire Away in the cherry cap and the black sleeves for the fifth stable. Request is in the second flight, red cap with the white sleeves, and both these horses closed pretty well in the nightcap here on Turf Classic Day.
Yeah, they did, and I, again, if I got a key on one, I'm going to go with Fire Away. Johnny Velasquez knows him. I think he might have hit the front and got to looking around a little bit. I think Johnny will be a little more careful when he makes the front.
Back to the spa. This was their slingshot run off the far turn. The final time back on August 1st was Sharp Omar goes out for the Toscanos. They've had a good year, Richie.
They've had a terrific year, and I really enjoy watching their success. They're a family that works hard together. They've been doing it for as long as I can remember, over 35 years. And Sharp Omar, the distance is going to be a problem. He won going a mile and a half there. He gets a mile and 3/8 to negotiate tomorrow.
And looking like it's the fall at Belmont, we've got Maggie with Friday's play.
All right, guys. Well, this Paddock Insider is one that I've been waiting to see on the turf, and she goes in race number 3, a maiden special weight for the fillies and mares. We're going to mile and 3/8, and one down on the rail is Regia Marina here, 4-time Albatrani. Despite her running second 4 times in 6 career starts, she's finally making the switch to the turf course, and from the get-go, I've always felt as though this filly is more suited to this surface. Daughter of Medaglia d'Oro. She's a half to a filly who was very good on the turf and Fast Cookie, and also a half to Midshipman, who he was the best on the synthetic, but his progeny have been good on that surface as well as the turf. So I think there's enough pedigree there, and by the looks of things, she should relish the green. So it's all Regia Marina tomorrow as your Paddock Insider.
Tom Albatrani, Medaglia d'Oro filly for the leading owner at the meet, and Sheikh Mohammed Godolphin with a number of top-class runners, and we'll see if the turf can wake up Regia Marina. We want you out here Saturday, Empire Showcase Day, and this sounds like the final low rollers of the fall meet at Belmont.
And the more I look at that $40 buy-in for low roller, that's probably how I should really cut my teeth in handicapping it. It's not a huge investment, but you get a lot of action and that tournament feel. I mean, I like playing poker. $40, pretty good deal.
You test your handicapping and money management acumen in that low rollers contest and watch and wager all the action. Your one-stop shopping for all things New York racing at the new look NYRA.com. Also check out the HD Naira app store in the Google Play Store. You will love it. I'm a big fan, as is the Big, and we say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow night for a Friday edition of Belmont Insider.